Hi, Professor. I'm here to represent the data visualization project with my team. For this project, our topic is cost of living and income. We are six people who are working for this project. The first part, introduction, that would be covered by me, and the secondly, Amrenda Reddy, who is covering the project overview. He will explain you each and everything about the project, and then the visualization part, that is covered by Karthik, Nikhilesh, and Murli Krishna. And at the end, Abhishek Rana will explain about the overall analysis for this project. So here's our team, and if we focus on the introduction part, so our topic is comparison of cost of living and average income for different cities and different countries around the world. So our first question is, why cost of living of a specific country is more, and why particular country have average income more or less. So here are different points and different perspectives which can be considered to measure this thing, why the cost of living and the income of a specific country is high. And I have just taken help of two visualization. So this visualization, that is showing the average income around the world and cost of living for any country or any city, is represented by this visualization. So next, moving to the data part. So we have collected our data from the two websites. Is Kaggle. So we have collected cost of living data set for from this website, and secondly, we have taken income data set from this website, and then we have cleaned the data for further visualizations. So now, Amrenda Reddy will explain you briefly about the project. Thank you so much.
Hi, Professor. Myself, Amrinder. I'm here to explain about project overview. So, in our project, we are going to analyze the highest and lowest cost of living countries in contrast with individuals' average monthly income. So, cost of living includes so many factors, but in that we are considering only few factors which are important for every individual. And they are like housing, food, transportation, etc. So, by considering these things, we'll find out top and important in countries in cost of living with the help of average incomes of that particular countries. So in every country, the monthly income varies. So we'll also find out what factors are affecting that monthly incomes. So getting to the analysis, when we consider the monthly incomes, so Bermuda is the topmost country with highest monthly income with $9,702 per month, following by Switzerland and Norway. And in coming to bottom 10 countries, Zambia is the lowest country with the minimum monthly income of $87 per month. So, so we try to find out what factors affecting Bermuda and Zambia to get highest and lowest monthly incomes. So when getting into Bermuda, Bermuda is famous for tourism. So most like 28% of GDP is getting from tourism industry only, and it's also getting 85% of GDP from insurance and financial services companies. Because of this, they are getting major monthly income in that country. And when getting back to Zambia, it has so many manufacturing subsectors such as wood, paper products, chemicals, rubbers, and plastic. Still, it's not getting enough GDP to maintain the country in a proper in a developed. manner. So it has some mining and export of copper of 71% of exports in 2019. It has agriculture sector which gives 50% of employment, but still it's getting only 3% of GDP. So all these factors are affecting the lower income for the Zambian people. So thank you.
Thanks for explaining about the overview of the project. And here, Professor, I did the analysis on gas prices in each country. As you can see, the top 10 countries are USA, Germany, United Kingdom, Italy, Canada, France, Spain, Russia, Brazil, and China. These are the top 10 countries which has the highest monthly income, and you can see the gas prices annually here, average gas prices here. For US, it's 1.2, and for Germany, it's 2.626. The thing is here, Professor, the gas price is varying from 1.2 to 2.26 is base cost. Most of the countries are importing their gas from another countries. That is the main reason which for having a higher price of gas, and also the shortage of gas right now. In a similar way, as you can see here, these are the bottom 10 countries which has lowest income lowest income, and in this Zambia is the one which has only $87 as a monthly income and 1.36 as a gas price. So they so as far as I did the analysis on these countries which has the average gas price as 1.8 to 2.3. So when we did the analysis on these, we came to a conclusion uh, saying that, for example, when we consider to buy 100 liters of gasoline in the US, it costs you around 2.07% of your monthly income when we calculate it to $100. So that is okay because the income is more there. It costs you only 2.07% of your monthly income. But whereas in bottom 10 countries, if you want to buy like 100 liters of petrol in a similar way, but it costs you more than your salary. So as far as my analysis, US and you, these are the best countries to live in, and the prices are affordable because the monthly income is high. US is the best country to live as far as I can say. And Zambia is the country where the gasoline price is higher in contrast with their income in when compared with Bermuda, it's very cheap to buy gasoline in contrast with their income. So this shows that the monthly income will affect the cost of living of any country, as you can see here. Thank you.
Hi Professor, this is Karthik and I'm gonna give my analysis on apartment based on one bedroom in the city center which was calculated in the USD. In general, there are often relationships between income and rental prices as a cost of housing is one of the biggest expenses for individuals and families. In areas where average income is high, the rental prices may also be high as people have most disposable income to spend on housing. So one such analysis which we have done on the data which we have, and we have got the top 10 countries where the average income is higher and the average income of the average apartment cost in USD is higher. So if you can see, we have United States of America here, and the average income of a particular person in United States is 5,869 USD dollars, and the average apartment costs in USD is $1,445 here. And compared to this, we have bottom 10 countries here. So if we can see, we have Zambia country here where the apartment costs around $262 on an average, and the average income of a Zambia person is $87. The reason is the cost of living in Zambia is remarkably low and those paid in a strong currency. As Zambia, it is a landlocked country, it is heavily dependent on its neighbors. The transport costs are higher, and the money of the country's consumer goods are imported, and therefore the rents are higher there. Like the majority of the Zambia population still lives below the poverty line itself.
Hello, Professor. My name is Nikhilesh Vashist. After all this, which is the most ideal country to live in if a person is earning an average salary? To look at that, let's first see at the top 10 most expensive countries to live in based on cost of living index and purchasing power. Cost of living index is a theoretical price index that measures the cost of living for a period of time. Higher the cost of living index, more expensive it is to live in that country for a person who is earning average salary. Purchasing power index specifies the common goods a person can buy who earns average salary when compared to a person who is in New York. The top 10 most expensive countries from our analysis is Bermuda, Switzerland, and Norway, and the cost of living is very high in this country. For an ideal country, cost of living is less and the purchasing power is high. Let's see which country has cost of living index greater than its purchasing power index. So from our world map here, we can see that when we filter on true, we can see that there are 78 countries where cost of living is greater than the purchasing power. And there are 61 countries where cost of living is less than purchasing power, which is our ideal country to live in. When we filter on that, we can see that the scatter plot and it spreads even more. When we filter on the most expensive, when we filter on the most expensive country, that is Switzerland, we can see that the cost of the purchasing power is less than the cost of living. So, which is an ideal country to live in for a person who's earning average salary? Comparing the difference in percentage of purchasing power index and cost of living index will give us the country which is the most ideal to live in. Germany, USA, and Australia are the only countries which are purchasing power index is greater than 100 and purchasing power is greater than cost of living. The reason why we are taking it as greater than 100 is because the citizens of these countries can afford more than the ones living in New York City. So the most ideal country to live in will be Germany. Thank you, Professor.
Hello, Professor, and thank you, Niklesh. So, sir, after performing the cleaning, filtering, and analysis on our data, we selected the three columns to analyze our data. That is gas price in a particular country, the rent for 1 BHK of a month, and cost of living and purchasing power. And we concluded that USA, Germany, and Australia are the best three countries in the world to live in, as their average income in these countries are higher as compared to the expenses they have to bear. Here, an individual spend less than of its 20% of income to pay 1 month rent and 100 liter of gas. Whereas the bottom three, or you can say the worst three countries in the world right now is Kazakhstan, Myanmar, and Kyrgyzstan. As in these country, a person has to sacrifice all his 1 month income just to get 100 liter of gas. And to rent a 1 BHK, they have to spend almost 4 months of their salary. So the bigger question is why this is happening, where one country is earning a lot, the people are living a better life. So the reasons are, as in the top three countries, they have a lot of big MNCs. Like for example, if we talk about USA, it export weapon worldwide, and it also has other big companies like Google and Tesla, which help it to grow his economy. Talking about Germany, it export a lot of machinery, automobiles, chemical good, and metals. And in Australia, Australia is the biggest, one of the biggest producer and exporter of food. Plus, the tourism plays a big role in the growth of the country. On the other hand, the countries like Tajikistan, Myanmar, they have a lot of political and religious issues, which force other countries and big MNC to not to invest in these countries. Moreover, these countries do not have much of their natural resources like good crops, farming lands, or crude oil, and they have to rely on the other countries to fulfill their needs. This result in more import and less export, and which make them poor day by day. Thank you, Professor.